Good morning, guys. We're back again. Saturday morning. Middlewich. Actually, we're not in Middlewich, we're in Winsford, next town along, because that's where the shops are. Just been into our favourite trade supplier. Got a few more bits and bobs, bought a hose pipe, some other stuff. I'm really hoping I can water test the copper today, once we've got the elements in and the cables connected. Tell you a bit more about that when we get there. But I just had to stop and look at the sky. Absolutely beautiful today, but it's -1, it's cold, but yeah, at least it's not raining. That's the main thing. Next to Screwfix, I've showed you before, is Tool Station, and they've just, I mean, it's not open yet, but they've just stuck a City Plumbing in the middle. I can't believe my luck. It's only 5 minutes from the unit, so we just need a McDonald's. If Ronald, if you're listening, we just need a McDonald's over there in Unit 5, please. And then I shall want for nothing else. Right, let's get down there. Here we are. Look, armoured cables in, breakers in, and most importantly, we are tested officially and approved. So that's all done. So that's done. He's happy. That's done. He's happy. Electrician, that is. So we can start connecting some elements up to this lot now. So big plans for today. Loads of little jobs, I'm afraid. But I've got the fittings for these pumps now. So I'm going to get those on. Get all the joints taped and watertight as much as we can. I've got some more connectors for putting things in this tank. Obviously we need to put a way of getting the water in. We need to fit a couple of tank connectors to circulate the water, and I've also got this sight glass, polycarbonate sight glass, which we're going to put in so we can see the level. So we've got at least 3 holes to drill. Once that's done and taped, I'm going to test it for water tightness. Need to decide how we're going to insulate it. Harry's had a good idea using these boards, the same boards that we insulated the conditioning rooms with. If we slit, we can curve them around and then fill the gaps with spray insulation foam potentially, and then wrap it or clad it in wood or something. So might do that. I mean, that'll keep it warm for years. Or I was thinking that foil bubble wrap stuff, which is questionable its efficiency, but if one side's just exposed to air, it's pretty reasonable, I think. But might be a quick fix. We'll have a look. So we'll get those done. This pump came, the Ibarra hygienic brewery pump came without any power cable, so I've got to stick a power cable onto that, terminate that as well, and loads of other bits. So I'm just going to crack on and take a few clips during the day. Right, so these are the heating elements that we'll be using from Backer. The reason that I selected Backer was for no other reason than that was what was fitted to them before. The ones that were in last time were domestic, and these are technically still domestic, but they're titanium, so hopefully a little bit more resilient to the chemicals and conditions that they'll be used in. So we'll just take a quick look. They've got a titanium thermostat tube. I'm pretty sure there's nothing in there, but I'm going to get the lid off and take a little look. Ta-da! Didn't know that was in there. Okay. Might come in handy. What is that? I think that's a safety cutout. Spot the home brewer. I think that's a safety cutout that's there to stop the water from going over about 65. Because you don't want to get burned at home. Obviously I need it hotter than 65, so that's gone. And we can wire directly to these terminals. Each element is fused at 13 amps, so there's no issue with the element failing and problems. But we do need to boil with them, so 65 is no good. So I'm going to read up on that just to be sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're talking about here. Okay. Bit of progress. Stuck a hose pipe garden tap on that now. Got a hose pipe under there, and we got a drip. We've got a drip. Oh no, that's the butterfly valve. Okay, look at that in a second. I'm just chucking some water in there. I'm going to submerge the elements and see if we get any leaks out of the immersion heaters. I better just fix that drip. Okay. Just nip that up with the big spanner. Look at that, got a little whirlpool going on. I'm not measuring this, I don't know how many litres it'll be to get up to the elements, but we'll have a look in a minute. What I might do then is get the pressure washer in there on that scum line, see if we can shift a bit of it. We got a dripper. Bugger. Okay, I've not filled it too much, it's about halfway up the element, so we'll tip it or drain it. In fact, I'll tip it, I think. Chuck it up this end, take that out, have another little look, see what we've done. Bugger. Right, I think we fixed that one. The water's above the level of the boss now, so not much, but enough to immerse it completely. However, we got another dripper. No wonder it's dripping. Got a bit of wood off. Look at this weld. Now, I'm no welder, but that looks terrible. I can't tell whether it's the weld that's leaking or the thread. I've tied it as tight as it'll go, pretty much. I'm just going to leave it sat with water and see if we see any more drips come out. Look and learn, kids. I did my usual trick of forgetting to film anything, but there is Fermenter 2. She's actually called Daisy, Sean told me last night, so we'll probably stick with Daisy as the name, because I like it. And Sarah likes cows. Sounds like a cow. Okie dokie. Who knew immersion heater elements are so finicky about how tight they are? Anyway, after stripping off some wood, jumping up and down on a few things, we appear to be quite full of water, and ignore the one at the front, that was me. No drips. Who knows, once we warm it up, we'll have to see, but if they leak, I'll tighten them up again. Just in the middle of this bit now, from the first two, third one, fourth one, then we'll switch her on and stand well back. Can you hear it? Woohoo! Okay, there is a drip, but it's steam leaking. Oh, look at that, it needs a clean as well. It's steam leaking from under the lid. There you go, that's where the drips are. Okay, happy. I'm going to have to stop. Planning to do too much in one day is ridiculous. Just keep underestimating the amount of time required to do things. Story of my life. Anyway, tell me that's not another drip. That's alright, it's not from there. Okay, so I'll show you what I've done. So as we started this morning, I told you the electrics are done. The electrics are done, tested. Each of these spurs is on its own 16 amp circuit breaker, MCB. This socket's on its own ring main underneath, single socket ring. Bit silly, but means I don't have to put a 20 amp breaker in, I can use a 32. So we got that sorted. We have taped the joints on this little contraption to death. You'll see a giant puddle. That was me. Well, not me, it was the pump. That doesn't leak now. So we've got the ball valve into the solenoid, into the sensor that measures the flow, into the pump. We can prime the pump, and then out of the pump into the mash tun. I have had this connected. The wires that they give you are about like 30 centimeters long, so ridiculous. So I'm going to have to extend those so that we can put the little control up there. But it does. I had it dispensing 10 litres, 20 litres. Couldn't check it, but looked pretty accurate. So I just type in the volume that I want, press go, and it dumped it into the mash tun. I underlet the mash tun, which I'd still like to do, but I'm trying not to buy any more pipe work, if I'm honest. So I may just start by dropping it into the top using the same arrangement as I'm going to use for the sparge to start with, and then a little bit further along we can get some more fittings. I forget who it was, sorry I've forgotten your name and I've not got my laptop here to look at it, but somebody mentioned this pipe, this hose. It does smell a bit PVC like, so I'm going to get some Brewflex. I won't need much. I mean, you know, if I did the whole thing in Brewflex, it's probably 3 or 4 1 metre lengths. So I'll weigh it up and I'll get some high temperature Brewflex. We'll use that for everything. It does stink a bit when it's hot. That's what it is. Vale Premium Hose EU number 10 2011 97233 15600. I'll look at that when I get home and see whether it is PVC or not. But for now they'll do, just to get an idea of the lengths. I'll mock it up with that and we can swap that out. So I pumped into the mash tun, and then separately, this is still really warm actually. You see we've got a lot of water, steam actually as it was in there. In fact, it's probably still, yeah, it's still steaming. That was hours ago. All 4 elements work by complete coincidence. Starting at the back left, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the order that they are there. It was just a lucky guess. So that's easy enough. Not that I need to know which is which. Haven't touched this today, but we've got power now there for the cooler, which is underneath currently. If I need to use the big cooler I can, but I think that'll probably do. And our new friend Daisy has arrived. She's got skinny little legs, Daisy. Need to sort that out, I think. I don't know why that looks so funny, but it does. Probably needs a paint, get some Hammerite or something. This tank was used for wild fermentation and sours and stuff, so I'm going to have to nuke it. Get all the baddies out of it before we use it for anything. Otherwise, I'll be introducing sours a little more quickly than I was expecting to. And then next to it is mash tun 2, which is surplus to requirements, as discussed before. Then we got these two massive things that I'm not quite sure what to do with now. I'll probably get them up there empty if I just board it over, strengthen it up a bit. I don't know. Well, they go on Mike's trailer outside. We still haven't put doors on here. David's offered. Thank you, David. Just haven't quite got around to asking him to come measure up and decide what we're doing. It's still not screwed down, so we've got some wiggle room if we need to move it somewhere else. But yeah, that's where we are. So I think it's looking good. Happy we can heat water, at least in the copper. I didn't get round to wiring up the element, but it certainly didn't leak the tri-clamp down there. But that's a little job for tomorrow. We'll get that element wired up. I need to stick another couple of holes in it for the sight glass and the circulation pump. I think other than cleaning, we just got to paint the floor. So we're nearly there, guys. Nearly there. And I've got to tidy up because it's just a tip. Considering my contents of my entire shed are in here now. But we'll get that sorted as well. So that's Saturday, 5 o'clock. 5:04. I think I'll have a bottle of wine tonight. I've earned it.